Surveillance cameras are designed to record ordinary life. People entering stores, walking through parking lots, driving home. Most footage is never reviewed until someone disappears. In some cases, the last confirmed moment of a person's life is captured on camera, a final frame frozen in time, a quiet sidewalk, a hotel hallway, a parking garage. The person appears calm, unaware, routine, and then, after that recording ends, they are never seen again. Today, we examine 5 missing persons cases in which the last known sighting was captured on surveillance footage. No dramatic confrontation, no visible struggle, just ordinary moments, followed by silence.
In July 2014, 28-year-old Lars Mittank traveled from Germany to Bulgaria with friends for a summer vacation. The trip had been routine and uneventful. They spent several days enjoying the coastal city of Varna. Near the end of the trip, Lars was reportedly involved in a minor altercation with other tourists. Shortly afterward, he began complaining about ear pain. A local doctor examined him and advised him not to fly immediately due to pressure concerns related to the injury. His friends returned home to Germany as planned. Lars booked a separate flight for the following day, intending to follow once he felt better. On the morning of July 8, 2014, Lars arrived alone at Varna Airport. Surveillance footage shows him walking calmly through the terminal. He appeared composed. He carried his belongings and moved without visible urgency. At one point, he entered the airport medical office for a brief consultation. What happened next was unexpected. Security cameras captured Lars suddenly standing up and quickly leaving the office. He exited the terminal building at a run, leaving behind his luggage and passport. The footage shows him sprinting across the airport grounds and toward a wooded area beyond the perimeter fence. There is no footage showing where he went after that. Extensive searches were conducted in the surrounding fields and forested areas. No trace of him was located. His bank accounts have never been accessed. His passport was never used. No confirmed sightings have been verified in the years since. The final image remains the same: a man running out of an airport terminal, disappearing from the camera's frame. He has never been seen again.
In January 2013, 21-year-old Elisa Lam was traveling alone through California. She checked into the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles during her trip. On January 31st, she was reported missing after failing to check out and failing to contact her family. Hotel staff reviewed surveillance footage from inside one of the elevators. The recording would later become widely known. The footage shows Elisa entering the elevator and pressing multiple floor buttons. The doors remain open longer than expected. She steps into the hallway briefly, then returns inside. At times, she appears to look down the corridor as though responding to something outside the camera's view. No other person is visible in the recording. She makes several hand gestures while standing inside the elevator. The doors eventually close. That was the last confirmed sighting of Elisa Lam alive. Weeks later, hotel guests began complaining about water pressure and discoloration. Maintenance workers checked the rooftop water tanks. Elisa's body was discovered inside one of them. Authorities ruled her death accidental. Toxicology reports and investigative findings were released publicly. However, the elevator footage remains the final documented image of her movements. A short recording, an enclosed space, no clear explanation for what happened after the doors closed.
On April 1, 2006, 27-year-old medical student Brian Shaffer went out with friends in Columbus, Ohio. The group visited the Ugly Tuna Saloona, a popular bar near campus. Security cameras positioned at the entrance captured Brian entering shortly before closing time. He appeared relaxed and engaged in conversation. Nothing in the footage suggested distress. As the evening ended, patrons exited the bar.
Surveillance cameras covered the main entrance and nearby escalators. Investigators later reviewed hours of footage. Brian was clearly seen entering. He was never clearly seen leaving. No video shows him exiting through the main doors. Investigators examined whether he could have left through alternate routes. Staff areas and emergency exits were considered. Despite extensive review of available recordings, no confirmed footage shows his departure. Search efforts extended beyond the bar. Nearby streets and surrounding buildings were reviewed for additional surveillance recordings. No confirmed sightings emerged. His phone stopped transmitting signals shortly after that night. His bank accounts were never accessed again. The final known image remains that security frame, Brian walking into a crowded bar. The camera captured the beginning of his night, not the end.
In May 2020, Suzanne Morphew was reported missing from her home in Colorado after allegedly going for a bike ride. Surveillance cameras from neighboring properties and traffic routes were reviewed. Footage showed vehicles moving through the area that morning, but Suzanne herself was never clearly captured leaving on her bicycle. However, investigators later reconstructed movements through various digital and surveillance sources. Her case received national attention. Years later, her remains were discovered in a remote area of Colorado. While arrests were made and legal proceedings followed, questions remain about the exact sequence of events that day. Surveillance evidence played a central role in the investigation, but it did not provide a clear final moment. The cameras recorded fragments, not answers.
On January 24, 2006, 24-year-old Jennifer Kesse did not report to work in Orlando, Florida. Concern grew quickly among family and coworkers. Her car was later located at a nearby apartment complex. Surveillance footage from the complex showed a person parking her vehicle and walking away. The recording was brief and grainy. The individual's face was obscured by fence posts in every frame of the footage. Despite enhancement attempts, investigators were unable to obtain a clear facial image. The person appears to walk calmly across the parking lot before disappearing out of camera range. Jennifer herself is not seen in the recording. Investigators believe the footage likely captured the person responsible for moving her vehicle. Despite national attention and years of investigation, no arrests have been made. The short video clip remains central to the case. A parked car, a shadowed figure, a camera that recorded movement, but not identity. Jennifer Kesse has never been found.
Surveillance cameras are meant to provide clarity. In these cases, they provided only partial stories. A man running through an airport, a woman inside an elevator, a person entering a bar, a vehicle abandoned in a parking lot. Moments recorded, conclusions missing. Each of these cases reminds us that even in an age of constant recording, disappearance is still possible. And sometimes the final image is not an ending, but the beginning of a mystery. If you'd like to continue exploring unresolved disappearances and documented mysteries, consider watching our previous episode examining 5 additional unsolved cases. Thank you for watching.